It's another Thank Fuck It's Friday, and I have such a good one for you today. We are going to talk about when you stop selling, sales get easy. And that probably sounds like, what in the fuck are you talking about? Because how do you stop selling if you have a business? But I'm going to walk you through this. I'm going to give you examples of what I mean and how sales and selling can actually be easy. And this is something that if I would have heard this or seen even like the title of an episode, podcast episode, or a post on social media, anything like this, maybe even a year ago, like maybe even not that long ago, I would have rolled my eyes so hard and been like, yeah, right. Like, fuck right off right now. Like, sales aren't easy. Don't even go there. But here's the thing. When I really thought about it, and I've been thinking about a lot of different things in my business lately, sales are easy. And the truth is, the way that I make sales, quote unquote, make sales, has actually been easy. And I also come at this and bring up this topic from a much different angle than just telling you, like, oh, sales is easy. Like, you should just be able to go out there and make sales. Like, no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm going to tell you how to do this, why it is actually easier than we think that it is, because it would be ridiculous to just make that statement and leave it at that. And I do see that sometimes that it's like, oh, sales are just so easy for me. Like, context, please. So I'm going to give you all of that. I do think a lot of the time we are making it a lot harder than it really needs to be. So there are a few things I'm going to go through, some tips that I have so that you can also make your sales easier and really like shift your mindset around this. So the very first thing, what I see so much of, and I talk about this with my clients all the time, is this thinking around sales needs to be this like hard sell. Like, here's my offer, you need to buy it all the time. Like, my offer, my offer, my offer, buy it, whatever. And while kind of that's not really how people are going to buy what you have, right? And that's where you start feeling like, oh my fucking God, this is so salesy. If I have to straight up tell people to buy my thing all the time and just like, here's my thing, and like shoving it in people's face all the time. There's also the side of this. And this is like a big one for a lot of people. This like shifts things for a lot of people. You have to keep in mind you're running a business, right? So there's that part of this as well. And if people come to like wherever you are on social media, Instagram, Facebook, like wherever you're posting on, and they're not expecting you to be selling something, like they think that that's weird that you are selling something on your business page, business account, that's weird. And that's on them. Because clearly, like, you run a business, so you need to sell things to make money, right? And we need to remember that there is that piece of it, because I know that this is something that just trips up so many people, and they're like, oh, I don't want to like talk about it too much because it's going to bother people and all of that. Remember that like this is your business account, and it would be weird if you weren't selling things on it. Like, truly, it would be weird because people would be like, well, what do you do? Like, why do you have a business account if you're not selling anything? Like, what are you doing? Right. And if anyone comes to you and they're like, No, you're selling too much. That's weird. That's a them problem because you're running a business. So there's just like a few things to really keep in mind. And the way that I think sales, quote unquote, gets to be easy is when you look at things as how can you serve people? And I'm sure that you've heard this a million times before, but I'm going to give you two really good examples of things. One that I've done previously, one that I do now, so that you can see really what I mean by this and how this can work. And like, I am not someone who likes high pressure sales or certain sales tactics. Like, I don't like those kind of things. And you don't have to have a successful business. I'm telling you right now, I've had two. One right now, my fitness business before this. You don't have to. So, if you didn't know, I did have a successful fitness business prior to this one. And one of the things that I offered was a workout membership. And I had a really easy time selling and filling it up because I was showing people exactly what it was like inside before they ever had to sign up. Before my clients became clients inside of it, they experienced my coaching, some of the workouts before they even paid. And when I would say, you can upgrade to the challenge membership, because that's what it was called, it was a total no-brainer because they already knew what to expect. They were getting results that like it was so easy for them to make that decision. They so this was all happening in my Facebook group mostly. So they were seeing results from what was my freebie at the time. And this was simple challenges that I held every month in my Facebook group. It was so easy. And it was just things that we would do each month, whether it was like a step goal or we would have, I would do commit to a number of workouts each month and people could choose whether they were going to commit to three, four, or five. And they had to like say how many they were going to commit to. And, I would schedule posts that would go out. It was Wednesday and Sunday. So that would keep people accountable in the group. I would give them a couple free workouts so that they had some to do. And if they didn't upgrade to the membership, they would have to find the rest on their own, right? And so there was this community that was already supporting each other, cheering each other on. And so I was creating this experience already. And when the next month's challenge came, it was always expected that I would just let everyone know what it was. Like it would be like, hey, here's the next challenge coming up, or we'd vote on, what they wanted to do. And the upgrade to the challenge membership was always an option. It was just like, if you want workouts in my fitness app, you want more accountability, you want the exclusive group chat in the app, you can upgrade to the challenge membership. And, you know, you could get more support in there, or you could still join the same challenge in the Facebook group and keep going with that. It never felt salesy or weird or anything because it was just like what we did. And I just presented it like, here's your options, you know, and it was the obvious next step of support if that's what they wanted. And many people did. So it kept growing, right? Because they were already seeing results from the free challenges. So it was like, of course, I will upgrade to the membership to get even more. And it was like the easiest sales I've probably ever made in business to date. I loved it. My Clients loved it. And I literally, all I did was talk about the challenges that we were already having, people were loving, how you could get extra support, enhance your workouts. This was exactly what people were looking for. So each month, a few more people would inevitably, I don't know why I chose that word to say, would sign up, and it would just like keep growing. So it was like an obvious path for people to choose more support. And it was never a hard sell. It was never like the membership, like buy my membership. It was never that. It was just like, we're doing the challenge. Here's a way that you can get more support because you already know how great it is when we're doing these challenges. So here is something that will give you even more support. You want to try it out? Here it is. Or you still have the option to stay in the group and do it with us here. That was it. It was so good. I loved it. Now, the second example of this, because like that, you don't have to have a membership to do this. That's not like the point of this. This will work, like this essential kind of strategy will work with any business model. It's not, the point is you have, or the point isn't that you have to have a membership. It's kind of using this strategy, right? So right now with my business model, like I work with people one-on-one or group, like in a group container in Impact. Those are really the two ways that I work with people. I don't have a membership, anything like that, but I do free strategy calls, my free recurring revenue strategy calls. And I always say, like, you'll walk away with 3 tangible steps to implement now so you can start making 5 to 10K plus months on repeat, right? And that's really the point of them, is looking at what can you implement in your business so that you can have consistent revenue coming in. That's truly like, that is what we look at. And I love doing these calls. I am so obsessed with them. I like, there's so many people who just hate sales calls. Well, and these aren't even sales calls, which I'm going to get into. But there's so many people that don't like doing calls. I love them. And you don't have, like, that's the other thing. It's not, the strategy is not calls. It's just, this is how this one works. So this is another example of, how you can give something that will work to lead people into the next step is the whole point of this. But I absolutely am obsessed with these calls, and they aren't sales calls. They are not sales calls at all. They're real strategy calls, and the intention of them is 100% helping you get ahead in your business. That's it. The last one that I had with someone, she actually said it was one of the best coaching calls that she's ever been on. And it's like, it's free. There are no strings attached. You don't have to sign up for anything at the end. Like, there's nothing. People get results just from these calls, just like they got results from being in the free Facebook group, whether they were going to take advantage of the membership or stay in the Facebook group. It's the same thing. All of these calls I go into without ever thinking like this person might become a client. Some of the people, I have no idea who it is that have even booked them. Some I haven't met before. So I have no idea who it is. And I'm going to support you the exact same regardless. Because the point of the call is not me thinking oh, good, this person's going to become a client. The point of the call is for you. It's truly so you can get help with your business. Now, many of them do end up converting. That's the thing with this. Many of them end up converting. I haven't ever calculated the actual conversion rate, and I should probably start, but it's probably around like 80% or so, which is incredibly high. And I don't sell on the call. Like I said, these are not sales calls unless someone asks me specifically about the offers that I have or what spots I have available for support. Because, like I said, I only do one-on-one or I have impact. I don't like have a pitch. I don't have anything like that. It's truly for us to work on what you need help with in your business. After the call, I'll follow up in a few days to see how things are going. If you were able to implement what we talked about at that time, depending on how the call went, I might add in, here's how I can support you further. And it's just kind of the same thing as what I did in the membership, because it's like, we've gone through this, you've gotten an idea of how I can help you. Now here is the next step of support if that's what you're interested in, right? Sales don't have to be weird or salesy or hard. Like, none of this is, to me, this, like, when you create this simple way to show people how you're going to support them, allow them to experience some of it, and then let them choose if they want that next step, it really does get to be kind of easy. And I'm careful with saying that because it depends on how you set it up, right? Now, there's the other part of when I say easy, this doesn't mean that just because you use this strategy, all of a sudden you're going to be a millionaire overnight. That's not what this means. It just means that it's a lot, you have an easier time actually like talking about all of the things and not feeling like you are on social media or you're, just sitting there being like, here's my offer, buy my thing all of the time, right? It creates a better experience, I feel like, for both you and the people on the other end. And I don't really talk specifically about like sales a lot, but what this comes down to really is the strategy and systems. It's having this strategy to make sales that works for you and having the systems set up for your business that also support those sales coming in. Both of those things I know incredibly well. And with all of my clients, this is how we figure out a way to do this. And we do this simple sales strategy in their businesses too, so it doesn't feel like selling. It's just guiding people into their offers by showing them what it's going to be like. And like I said, this way it's easy to talk about. Like, for my membership and the challenges, it was come join us for the monthly challenges. I told people what that was about, what we were doing, you know, come join the Facebook group. I'm doing these free challenges. Get in, whatever. Once they were in there, then they got to join. Then it was, here's the one for next month. If you want more support, here's the membership. Like, it was never the hard sell. For the free calls, which you can book one, the link is in the show notes. Like, we go over together what you can implement now to start seeing results in your business. It's not salesy. It's how I can actually help you with what you want. And when you find a way to do this in your business, sales really become much more quote unquote easy because you aren't so focused on selling. You're truly focused on how you can simply help people. And then if you do your job well doing that, which you're going to, your offers sell themselves because you're showing people that you know what you're doing and they are seeing results before they even pay you to work with you. And then they naturally want to come and get more support. So that is how sales truly can get to be easy. And I would love to chat with you about how you can do this for your business. So be sure to book a free recurring revenue strategy call because, like, honestly, this is what I'm really good at. Like, I'm just going to say it. I'm really good at this and finding these ways that you can set this up for yourself, have this strategy and the systems to be able to do this and bring these sales in and make it a lot easier. And when it gets to be like this, that's when you're going to have the consistent income coming in as well, because it just makes it easier all around. You're able to talk about, whatever your freebie, essentially, your lead up is that you are helping people with before they're getting into your offer, right? And it's not that you like never mention your offer, but it's truly more talking about how you can help people, the results that you're getting people. And that is what's going to do the selling for you. So book your free call. And as always, go after everything that you fucking want and be unapologetic about it.